Tekken Nerd Time for November 7th, and today we're going to be talking about Hwoarang in Tekken 8. So I'll admit I did not get to play the CBT. I've been watching a lot of videos about Hwoarang in particular because he's been my main ever since Tekken Tag 1 back in 1998. I replaced Lei as my main, and it's pretty much been my my solid main for a very long time now. Very much enjoy the character, and there's definitely been some highs and lows throughout his career. There's definitely mixed opinions on the character. Some people just absolutely hate him dead. Other people are absolutely in love with him. So I guess I will start this by saying that I fear Tekken 8 Hwoarang is going down the same rabbit hole of doom that he has gone down for a very long time in the past, and this is probably where I'm gonna get some people getting angry with me. Tekken 7 Hwoarang was the best designed version of Hwoarang in his history. Take that for what that's worth. Some people will probably be very angry with that comment, but there it is. So we're gonna do a little history lesson because I'm an old man and I think that history lessons will teach people a lesson. Probably not true. It's really just I'm old and I remember the past a lot better than I remember the present. So we're gonna talk about the past. So Tekken Tag 1. Picked up Hwoarang and got a good grasp on the character there. And what you younger kids may not realize is that Hwoarang, in his initial version in Tekken 3 and Tag 1, was that he was not a bulldog character. He was not a pressure monster. He was an evasion character. He was akin to Ling Xiaoyu and to Lei Hwoarang in that respect. Lots of evasion, mainly through his triple sidestep. For those of you who don't know, triple sidestep was 3 sidesteps, all built together, but each with their own different version. Because obviously, if you do a sidestep, there's that little pause before you can do another sidestep. This was back in the days before side walking was a thing. So triple sidestep was you sidestepped right, hit forward 3, that puts you into left flamingo stance, and in itself had a very slight sidestep right built into it. Because this was a move and not a movement, there was no pause. You could do the sidestep right directly into the move of forward 3, and there's no pause, so you could do it any time in there. So that was the double sidestep. That kind of reset the time meter on when you could do a sidestep again. And since you could sidestep in flamingo stance, you could then sidestep right the third time, and it was just a bam, 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 rapid progression of sidesteps to the right without any pauses or breaks, in the way that not uncommon that if someone was attacking into you with a linear move, for you to get to their back with this movement, and back in the olden days, a left flamingo 1 into back throw, I'm pretty sure it was 100% guaranteed. It was if that jab landed on the back of their head, the throw was complete, guaranteed, as long as they were within range of his little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. Even if they weren't, a left heel lancer back 4 into a kind of off-axis wobbly juggle did some pretty decent damage then as well. So it was a pretty sweet thing, and really it was his main thing in Tekken Tag 1, because he functionally had 0 lows. The down 3-4 that we all know and love about Hwoarang today, back in those days, was a special mid-high combination, and no mix-up potential there. And he couldn't do down 3-4 out of flamingo. He didn't have the hell sweep that he had in Tekken 7. Didn't have any of that. He had some really terrible low pokes and some snake edge like sweeps out of flamingo that were actually probably the worst lows ever created, and that was it. That was it for his lows. So he was not a mix-up guy in any way. His main damage output was by putting a little pressure on you, making you think that it's your turn to finally hit some buttons, and then triple sidestep away and get to the back and get some decent damage in. You could also kind of do a double sidestep to the left by doing a sidestep left back 4. That would allow him to functionally do a double sidestep. Back in those days, though, back 4 on counter hit led to a nosebleed stun, which really didn't do too much. If you're really effing good, you get a forward 4, not Peacemaker, that you're probably thinking of, but back in those days, forward 4 is what you would now call forward 4, the big high hitting kick that leaves him back turn on block, or leaves the opponent back turn on hit. So, little history lesson there of what Hwoarang used to be. And we're gonna go forward in time a little bit to Tekken 4, and from Tekken 4 all the way up to Tekken Tag 2, he functionally stays as the exact same character and just gets more and more bloated. This is when they transitioned him to the Bulldog 50-50 mixer. He gets his jabs into flamingo stance. He gets his down 3-4 as a low attack, low high natural hitting combo that he could do from left foot forward or from left flamingo. That's when all this stuff happened. It's Tekken 4. And in that time, he sucked, not because his design was bad. They didn't do anything wrong. Matter of fact, he had a move for every situation and a situation for every move. It's not like he was not poorly designed in that game. It was just a poorly designed game. So because of that, he suffered greatly. It was rather low tier. It's not that I like him in certain games because it's high tier and low tier, but of course it's more fun to win. But anyways, that's inside. In Tekken 5, they add some new moves, but none of the new moves that they give him really functionally change the way he plays. They just basically gave him better combo routes, and that was about it. Tekken 6, more the same. They gave him more moves. None of them really functionally changed the way he played. There was nothing new or exciting added in at any point. It was just new combo routes. That was it. And then Tekken 7 came along. And love it or hate it, they finally injected him with some new things to give him some new personality. Backlash kick, right foot forward, 3 slip into 4 is probably one of the more iconic additions there, where the armor added on to the fact that it's a counter hit launcher. It's plus on block. It's basically completely safe to whiff. And it's got, I forget if I mentioned this, but it's got armor. It's super ideal, other than the fact that it's slow as dirt. It's like 30 frames, but the armor and the whiffability factor of it kind of makes up for it. I used to use this move way back in Tekken Tag 1. It was still a good move back then, even though it didn't juggle and even though it didn't have armor, just for kind of space controlling. Just backdash out a bit and just kind of throw it out there, see what happens. If they happen to run into it, sometimes happen because it did have good homing and pretty decent range, then sweet. Pretty awesome damage. But if it whiffed or if it happened to get blocked, whatever, it's fine. So it was just a little, kind of a medium risk, medium reward move, and they in Tekken 7 kind of made it a low risk, high reward move, but just it's so slow that even though it's got all these great qualities for it, you can't just slap it out there. You do have to have at least 2 neurons to rub together to make that move work. So, and his Peacemaker, forward 4, I think was also a great addition in Tekken 7. He lacked a good long-range mid. Forward 3 was probably his best, but again, slow as dirt. So having something like that, despite its extreme linearity of that move, still was functionally very, very useful for him to have. But the biggest addition for him was the right flamingo stance hell sweep, down 4-3. And I know a lot of people really hate this, and they're super glad that it's gone in Tekken 7. But I think, in Tekken 8, that it's functionally gone outside of being a Heat exclusive move. But from my perspective, I like it, and I'm gonna tell you why. when you're putting pressure on people with Hwoarang, you're getting lots of little damage here and there. And it's kind of like playing like a game of duck, duck, goose, you know? You're throwing out lots of mids, lots of high. You're establishing that melody. You're establishing that rhythm, you know? Duck, 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 duck. And eventually, you need to cash out on that. Eventually, you have trained your opponent to accept the fact that it's going to be another duck. And that's when you get them. That's when the rope-a-dope comes out, and you get them with the goose. And that's where the hell sweep is necessary. Without a big cash out low like that, your goose is no more. It doesn't have that impact. There's no one's gonna fear the goose. As a response to that, not only does the goose suck, but the duck sucks. I'm getting down a weird narrative here. Basically what I'm saying here is that without the hell sweep threat, the mids aren't as great either. It's a mental advantage that the hell sweep, because I mean the hell sweep really didn't do that much damage. The Oki follow-ups aren't that great. It's only in very limited situations that you get a decent wall splat into any type of good wall combo off it. So damage-wise, it's not that big of a threat compared to a lot of other characters' lows, but it rounds him out. And I guess the one other, so that's the third new move that they gave Hwoarang in Tekken 7. I felt finally injected him with some personality and a direction. But the thing that I liked the best about the direction of Tekken 7, and whoever the hell designed him, chef's kiss for doing this, they actually removed moves. They took away moves from him and reduced that bloating so that the moves he had much greater value. And that was that for me, after watching this character get continuously more and more bloated from Tekken 4, which came out in 2004, all the way up to the end of Tekken Tag 2's lifespan. So I don't even know anymore. Let's call it 2014. So it's about let's call it about 10 years worth of him spinning the same wheel. He's just spinning the same wheel. Yeah, he's getting new spokes on the wheel, but it's still the same wheel going round and round. So Tekken 7, they finally did something a little bit different. Finally reduced some of that bloating. Finally gave him a little more direction. My hat was off to him. Really made Tekken 7 a very enjoyable experience for me as a Hwoarang main. So roll your eyes at that as much as you want. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Tekken 7, largely just because of how wonderful of a job they did with designing this character. And now with the history lesson over, we finally proceed into the topic of the conversation, the topic of the title, Tekken 8 Hwoarang. And what do we see so far? Bloating. Insane bloating of this character. I don't see anything new in his footsie's neutral game whatsoever. His heat engagers are some of the most... they're just very underwhelming. I don't see people heat engaging during footsies at all with this character. Maybe that's just because people aren't playing it right. Maybe it's because it's still a beta and they're still tooling around with things. But man, his neutral is no more evolved than it was back in Tekken 4. Again, we've gone backwards. Instead, they've put all this emphasis, huge amount of emphasis on new combo routes. He's got his soccer kick that he can do from Flamingo and transition back into Flamingo. They're basically making it Bayek's Halberd kick from Tekken Tag 2, which if you enjoyed seeing combos of 4 Halberd kicks in a row, well then get hyped for Tekken 8, because Hwoarang's going to be doing combos of 4 soccer kicks. And by soccer kicks, I don't mean the throw, the kick to the groin throw, hit throw. I mean the do-do kick that he does. Hard to describe it, but it's up forward both kicks. Up forward both kicks. Previously, could only be done from left foot forward. Now we are able to do it from flamingo as well. And now we also have the ability to do his 3 slip into 4 from left foot forward. I can also now do from right flamingo, which again, opening up combo routes, but his footsies, his neutral game has gone backwards because he's lost the hell sweep, and which I guess he hasn't lost it. It's still it's just heat specific now, and maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine because I do like these heat specific moves. Not only to and it's better. It's better. It's 3 hits now. It does more damage than the old school right flamingo stance hell sweep. It's just now heat locked, and that's okay. I'm used to moves being stance locked. I'm a big stance character guy, so I don't see this as being a huge loss. This backlash isn't gone. The fact that they just turned it into like a free follow-up. I'd rather it be a worse follow-up, but still retain its good footsies property than the reverse of that, it being a huge juggle launcher, but lose a lot of its footsies, its value in footsies. So this is okay. It's fine. I don't really care that it doesn't do a full juggle. A free forward 3 afterwards is perfectly fine in my book. So that's not a huge loss. So I guess I don't feel like they've hurt Hwoarang in this. I just feel like we're back to bloating again, and who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some real sweet neutral tools out there that no one's really investigated yet. Maybe his triple sidesteps back, and no one's bothered to take a gander at it. I don't know. Sidestep does seem a little bit more buff in this, so maybe that's a thing again. God, that'd be sweet. How I miss, oh Lord, how I miss punching people in the back of the head. So yeah, honestly, I could probably make several more videos about Hwoarang and the history of Hwoarang, ups and downs throughout it. I've been studying this character for a very long time, and I will still probably continue to play Hwoarang in Tekken 8, but since I feel like we're back to spinning the same wheel again, I don't think he's going to be my main. I'm tired of doing the same thing still, and other characters are grabbing my interest much more because they actually use the heat system in the way that I want to use the heat system. I want to use it for footsies, and Hwoarang just doesn't do that. So I don't think Hwoarang's going to be my dude very much in Tekken 8, but life goes on. I mean, Lei eventually got passed over, and now maybe it's time for Hwoarang to get passed over, and a new main shall arise from the dirt. I don't know. Anyways, I think that hit all my talking points for today. Yeah, if you're a Hwoarang main, let me know what your thoughts are. Love to jib jab and get some banter going here. But anyways, ending.